it on? Good. I was told I'd be shot if I didn't turn the microphone on. We are also live streaming. Welcome, everybody. It's great to see you all. This concert is in memory of and in gratitude to Pastor James Brewer-Calvert, a dear friend, and really an inspiration in my life. Our orchestra about 8 or 9 years ago was looking for a new home. We had outgrown in size our then location, and I was introduced to Pastor James. Well, I immediately felt a heart-to-heart connection, just an amazing connection. He was someone who I felt would hear and see who he was speaking to and being with. And this continued throughout our friendship. He also made me feel I could understand in a different way the word pastor, coming from pastore, obviously bringing his congregation and keeping them, content and together. But it was more than that for me. It really was a personal connection. So we were invited to come here. I think it was about 7 years ago, something like that. And we love the sanctuary. We have played with and without heat and with and without air conditioning. And we still love the sanctuary. And we love being here. And thank you, Pastor Daniel and Will and everybody who's been helping us tremendously, and of course James's family. At some point, I noticed on the outside door that it said this church was commemorated in 1921. And doing my brilliant math, I thought, 100 years is coming up. So I also realized, a little delayed laugh, I also realized that our special anniversary for me of 100 years was coming up. My great uncle, Maestro Enrico Leidi, founded the first Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, 1921 also. 2021 was the first season. And he had it for 10 years until the Great Depression put financial restraints on that. So I thought, great, let's do one big gala. We can do it here, we can do it in another place, and celebrate both centennials. But of course, COVID came in the way. So that did not happen. We did do our gala at some point, but it wasn't the dual gala that we were hoping for. During our time corresponding and coming here and meeting for preparations for the concerts, James always signed his epistles, Shalom, peace. So in the spirit of multiculturalism and theology, I signed mine Pax Vobiscum. And I thought, that's really cool. He's signing his letters to me, knowing my heritage, Shalom. And then one day we were in here where we always met, and he said, come to my office. And there I saw a big sign already printed that he'd had for years saying Shalom. I didn't feel quite so special at that point. But I was here in honor of his 25th anniversary of being pastor here. And I didn't want to, be with, I didn't want to just be anywhere. So I sat way in the back, in the last pew. It was full, absolutely full. It was a wonderful celebration. And at one point he was up at the podium speaking, and he was talking about all the different denominations and cultures and nationalities and races that he felt were part of the congregation. He was very proud of that. Then he looked right down this aisle and he looked right at me and said, and even musicians. I felt seen at that point. But yeah, it just has been such a heartfelt honor and a privilege to have known Pastor James, and so this concert is in his memory. We are the Atlanta Musicians Orchestra, and we are an amateur orchestra coming from amatore, meaning to love, and we do this for love, certainly not for pay, and we do love it. Most rehearsals anyway, but yeah, we rehearse every week, and then we do 2 concerts per cycle. So I see a lot of faces I've already seen here before, and I thank you for coming back, and thank you all for being here. And hi, there's always a critic, huh? So the first piece you're going to hear is the overture to the opera Cavalleria Rusticana by Mascagni. It's my heartfelt piece, and it's sort of my piece to Pastor James. And the second one is to herald our mutual background, which is both of us from New York, and even the fact that James was a musician. And I've been told today that he was also not very knowledgeable about music trivia, so I'm glad I never challenged him. And he also studied to be a magician besides musician. And I did too when I was in junior high school, and I did paid shows. So a lot of cross threads here, and of course Atlanta and this church. So the first piece is the overture to Cavalleria Rusticana, and then we'll do the second piece also, well they're all, but especially in honor of Pastor James from West Side Story, the Tonight theme, obviously heralding our background in New York. So I thank you again for coming, and I hope you enjoy the concert. Thank you. Thank you. My great uncle, who I mentioned, who also started the first Atlanta Symphony Orchestra in 1920-21, Enrico Leide, always had young guest artists with soloing and even conducting and helping with rehearsals. And so I thought it'd be nice to pass that tradition down. And in fact, I'm a little overwhelmed by this next guest we have, Maestro Eli Zelman. Maestro Zelman came from Russia when he was 7 years old and speaks a fluent Russian, fluent Hebrew, fluent English, good French, and who knows what else. There you are. He was playing violin. He got his degree in violin, and while playing at Georgia State, he played under the baton of Michael Palmer, Maestro Michael Palmer, who is one of my heroes, also a fabulous conductor. And soon, Eli was personal assistant to Maestro Palmer and conducting assistant to Michael Palmer. He's quite an amazing young man. He's going on to graduate school now. But I wanted to quote what he put in his biography. He said, "Music means the world to me. Hardly an hour goes by without it in my life." And he quotes G.K. Chesterton, who I always tease him about, because for a 21-year-old to quote G.K. Chesterton, who's not a household name in philosophy, it's pretty amazing. And he says, "Life exists for the love of music or beautiful things." And then Eli goes on and says, "I never have to force myself to study, to play, to practice, or to listen to it. Music brings so much joy, fulfillment, and meaning to my life, which inspires me to share it with everybody. My dream is to bring music to as many people as possible." And I sincerely believe Pastor James would have loved seeing and hearing Eli conduct our wonderful orchestra. So we're going to have Eli play three short pieces by Chabrier, French composer, and he will give you a little more information.
Hello, everyone. Good start. It's hard to beat that, but so the Chabrier was a composer from the French composer from the 19th century, and this piece that we're going to play, these three pieces, is from his Suite Pastorale. It's a short suite for 4 pieces that he wrote, and the first one is about like idyllic French life, like a brook, perhaps, some rivers, some shepherds in the face of an oboe or of a clarinet. The second movement is called Danse Villageoise, a dance of the villages, the village. So there's a bunch of village dancers, a bunch of peasants dancing. And then the final one is a scherzo waltz, so picture like a party and in France in the 19th century. However you're going to picture that, I don't know, but we'll do our best. So thank you.
The next piece we're going to hear is the King Stephen Overture by Ludwig van Beethoven, written in 1811 and premiered in 1812. Nice, not a little baby's good. The overture begins with a call to attention with trumpets, then French horns, then bassoons, and then strings. And then it develops into two themes, both with the Hungarian folk melodies as their basis. The first is a lilting andante con moto, means slowly but moving. And the second is featuring featuring a solo flute. And the second is a boisterous presto, which leads into the coda and the finale. It was written by Beethoven on a commission in honor of King Stephen I, who founded the Kingdom of Hungary in the year 1000. So that's a little bit of the backstory. Thank you. think we have energy for one more piece. That was really lovely, Orchestra. That was great. So the next piece we're going to do is Der Kaiser Waltz, or the Emperor Waltz, which is often referred to as the handshake waltz because it was written and commissioned for Strauss to write this waltz, or the set of waltzes really, for the meeting between the Austro-Hungarian Kaiser and the German Kaiser, and it was for when they met and shook hands. That's when there was still diplomacy around. Anyway, when you think of Vienna and Strauss, and you think of waltzes, and these waltzes that Strauss did were both for the dance hall and for the concert hall, so they're suitable for both. The march starts with a quiet introduction leading into a sweeping crescendo, which introduces the gentle and lovely principal first melody. The solo cello introduces the first pair of waltzes, and the trumpet fanfare introduces waltz number 3. There are 5 waltzes, and then the coda and the rousing finale. So I hope you enjoy Der Kaiser Waltz, the Emperor Waltz by Strauss. Thank you. I keep getting reminders from everybody. Don't forget the microphone. Don't forget. We have baked goods right after the concert, and that's how we raise some money. And there'll be some donations accepted back there. And most importantly, let me just reiterate, this concert is in loving memory of Pastor James. And may his memory be a blessing. Thank you all. Why wasn't anybody dancing in the aisle? Sorry, what? I just wanted to thank you all and thank the memory of Pastor James and everybody here. And thank you. We have a lovely full house today. It's just beautiful. And lots of babies, which is great. I used to go to concerts of my great uncle when I was 5 and 6, and I played the piano about then. I started, and one day I stood on the podium after rehearsal, and I was so disappointed. They're all notes. I thought there'd be arrows, you know, all over the place. Anyway, I learned soon enough. All right, thank you all so very much. It's just been a delightful afternoon. Thank you, and thank you, Atlanta Musicians Orchestra.
Oh yeah, I'll pass it here.